Elizabeth Wells from BBC News reporting live from the Green Market where there has been a poisoning. As you can see behind me, the famous Hardacker sweet stall has poisoned hundreds of people with famous lozenges. The sweets that you all know and love have been making people throw up and scream out in pain. What was supposed to be a lovely Sunday afternoon has turned into a tragedy. Millions of our kids go out every Halloween to trick-or-treat, and none of them should have to worry about what's laced in their candies. The reports are coming in now, and they tell us that Joseph Neal's assistant accidentally sold arsenic to Mr. Hardacker instead of Daft, which is used as a sugar alternative in Mr. Hardacker's famous treats. Here with me now are Mr. Hardacker and Mr. Neal to explain their sides of the story.
I'm Mr. Hardacker, the owner of the bakery.
I'm Joseph Neal, and I'm the seller.
So, Mr. Hardacker, what is your explanation for what happened?
Well, Elizabeth, this was all out of our regular practice. We've been buying our Daft from our trusted long-term wholesaler, Joseph Neal, all this time. And this time, he sent us arsenic trioxide.
So what exactly is Daft?
Well, Daft is a plaster of Paris and powdered limestone. Our baked goods use this inferior sugar along with real sugar these days, as the price of sugar is at an all-time high.
And Mr. Neal, what is your explanation?
See, I was actually out of the office that day, and my assistant, he mistook the arsenic trioxide with the Daft and accidentally switched them and sold you the wrong one.
Why he had that much arsenic trioxide in the first place is suspicious enough. What do you have to say about that, Elizabeth?
I agree. According to the Arsenic Act of 1851, Mr. Neal should have had his arsenic dyed blue. Do you have an explanation for that, Mr. Neal?
See, we do dye our arsenic blue, but it was just in the process of that. It was actually an incomplete batch of arsenic trioxide and hadn't been dyed yet.
I see.
Excuses.
Okay. Well, thank you for being on the show with us today.
Yeah, well, either way, I'm taking him to court, so...
Well, as you can see, Mr. Hardacker
Please help me! Oh my god, I feel really sick right now.
Oh no, what happened?
I took 2 lozenges of them over there in the candy shop and I feel really sick right now. Please help!
Did you get them from Mr. Hardacker's?
Yeah, that's where I got it from.
Okay, I think you might have arsenic poisoning. We need to get you to a hospital right away.
Okay.
There's one just down the lane there.
Okay.
Well, I sincerely hope that our victims are getting some help here at the local hospital. Here with us now is Dr. S to explain some of the symptoms of arsenic poisoning and the effects it can have on our bodies. Welcome, Dr. S.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. S, a toxicologist currently studying arsenic poisoning in humans. As we know, arsenic is a natural element found on the periodic table, and although it may seem harmless, looks can be deceiving. Arsenic exposure is unavoidable due to its natural presence. We're always ingesting it in our food and water. However, ingesting a very high dose in a small time frame, specifically between 120 to 200 milligrams, has the potential to be lethal, and that's exactly what's happening here today. When the poor victims ingested William Hardacker's lozenges, they were exposed to enough arsenic to kill 2 people, which caused acute poisoning symptoms. Some of these symptoms include vomiting, nausea, diarrhea, dehydration, and abdominal cramping and pain. So let's go to my lab to explain what happens in the body when you ingest arsenic.
When arsenic is ingested, we get something known as arsenic poisoning. You see, our body is made of cells which make energy with the help of small molecules known as enzymes. This energy makes us feel happy and healthy, and without it, we'd feel lethargic and more prone to sickness all the time. Unfortunately, when arsenic is ingested, it inhibits this energy-making process by binding to those small molecules we called enzymes. This depletes the cells of their energy, and the cells slowly shrink and shrink and shrink until they die, and there is arsenic left inside our digestive system. This builds up, and this is what causes symptoms that we see, such as nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, fever, and abdominal pain and cramping. Unfortunately, if untreated, arsenic poisoning can lead to death.
I'm back now at the Bradford Hospital. Here from Medical and Healthcare Regulatory Agency, we have Charles to explain the further implications of the poisoning on our town.
Well, Elizabeth, This is clearly a very unfortunate event, and by the end of this year, 1858, we will crack down on intensive labeling regulations for all chemicals and pharmaceuticals, especially arsenic.
I agree, something does need to be done. What do you foresee in terms of our economy going forward?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. The reason why this happened in the first place was the inability for Mr. Hardacker to afford sugar. Thus, we aim to decrease taxes for smaller businesses in order to give them some leeway to afford higher quality product.
Thank you. I hope we see some real changes in the next coming years. Unfortunately, over 200 people have been poisoned at this point, with 20 reported dead. Keep our town in your prayers tonight, and please stay away from Mr. Hardacker's sweets. That's it for tonight's breaking news. Good night, everyone.